Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Thank you to those who are here to testify today. Thank you for your service to our nation. You are once again serving our nation by your testimony, and I'm grateful for it. Dr. Draper, you have been at the GAO for a while. Mm-hmm. Do you care to put on the record how many years?
Well, I've had 2 tours of duty, so in total 8 years.
And in the 8 years, have you been involved in reviewing the operations of the Department of Veterans Affairs?
I've been involved probably for the last 5 years.
So I want to use your experience in an institutional way, because what strikes me today as I sit here is, once again, this committee. I served on the Veterans Committee in the House. I could say the House committee meets. We have veterans who come tell us the circumstances they find themselves in. We have GAO and the IG who come and give us reports. But we've been doing this for a long time. And it seems to me what strikes me as I listen to the testimony here of this panel and what I, to some degree, can expect from the Department of Veterans Affairs, I'm going to hear something very similar to what I've heard on previous occasions about mental health or health care or benefits, and how the VA is or isn't capable of meeting the needs of our veterans. My point of that conversation is, it seems to me not much changes. So, as someone who has examined the Department of Veterans Affairs for the last 5 years, is that perception correct? What is it that we can do to get out of the cycle of inviting you to come and report on your GAO studies? What is it that we can do to get out of the cycle of asking veterans how things are going, and to have the American Legion and the VVA and others, the VFW in front of us telling us about their members and their experiences, and the Department of Veterans Affairs explaining what's going on? How do we get out of the cycle of we're just hearing the same, it's a different topic each time, but it's the same set of circumstances that veterans find themselves in?
I would love to report something differently. I know that we sound like a broken record sometimes, but these are the common themes. And I think that, you know, going back to the reasons we put VHA on the high-risk list this past year, you know, there are 5 common themes, and we see them here again in this work. Inadequate policies, you know, things play out differently at the local level. You got a lot of variation among medical centers. There's poor oversight, data systems or information technology that doesn't support good practices, you know, lack of training, and resource identifying what the resources needs are and appropriately allocating those. So, I mean, VHA, and one of the issues with agencies that are put on the high-risk list is that they're in need of major transformation, and I think that that's certainly true of VA. Or VHA. VHA is what we put on the high-risk list.
If I could paraphrase what I think you're telling me, which is those 5 circumstances are common throughout the VA, regardless of what audit report you're preparing, what the topic is, those failures continue to exist system-wide.
I would say it's system-wide in VHA.
VHA,
right.
Okay. And, but then let me take you to my question again, which is, so what can we do? What can I do as a member of Congress? What can this committee of the United States Senate do so that when we have a hearing 6 months from now or a hearing a year from now, the conversation, the testimony is different than what we hear today?
Well, I think the high risk, to get off the high risk list, there's an opportunity to, you know, it calls for the creation of a framework. There's specific criteria to get off the high risk list. I think that's a good place to start. It provides a good, those criteria, there's 5 criteria, provides a good roadmap to help frame an action plan to get off. There's a lot of the independent assessment that was recently done. That also provides great information. The Commission on Care that's going to be issuing a report. That all is information that can be funneled into a framework for transforming. Finally,
and perhaps it's the repetitive of my question, so there's recommendations, there's a guide plan, a path to get off the criteria that you've placed them on, high risk.
Right.
Is there evidence that it's being pursued, the path to get off the high risk category?
We haven't seen a lot of progress yet.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.